Welcome to the Show Up and Blow Up podcast, of course, where we work with nutritionists, trainers, and anybody who's a coach who is working in person currently and wants to go online. And here, of course, every Wednesday, I'm going to be showing you and giving you extra tips and tricks on how to take your business from in person to online, save a little time, and make a lot more money. All right, so first of all, just, tell everybody who you are and what it is you do.
My name is Sheena Wright, and I'm a personal trainer here in Nashville with Body Wright Fitness. I also train at the downtown YMCA. And for those who don't have a YMCA membership, I train anywhere there's space and opportunity, really.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, kind of like what we were just talking about. I kind of stalk your page because I see what you're doing, right? I love to see the consistency. Seriously. Anytime I see someone, you had your squat challenge, right? And it's still going on too, right?
Right. So
it's,
today's
it ends tomorrow or today. Today's the 31st. Wow.
Well, no, today's the 30th. I was just going to the 30th.
Okay.
And I gave a break for the Halloween's like the celebration.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I was wondering, I was like, dang, it's today the 31st. Okay, good. But yeah, I've been watching your squat challenge and everything, and I see how consistent you've been with the stories and posting your lifestyle. That's how it's done. Seriously. And I'm a fan, right? So I'm watching, and I'm just seeing, of course, you putting in the work, right? And this is what it takes, right? I see a lot of people who want the life, right? I want a lot of followers, and I want a big business, and this and that, but they're not willing to do what you're doing already.
Right.
So I just wanted to do, to give you a little hand clap, a little love, and say you're doing the right thing. I like it. So. So outside of that, though, what are you looking to do with it? Where do you want to go? Where do you see Sheena, going?
Well, I've been training for some years now. A few years actually certified, and then prior to that, just friends, family, whoever wanted to be trained because I have that athletic background. So I would like to kind of transition to be more of an online trainer, and I'm still toying with the idea of working personally, in person and online.
Right.
But online for sure, just because I do want to be able to reach as many people as possible. To be completely honest, I want to make sure that I can have a lifestyle that I enjoy. There's like a balance you have to have, of course, with the things that you enjoy doing and making sure that you can live the lifestyle you want to live. Or else, you won't be able to do the thing. I feel like you won't be able to continue to do the things that you feel like you have a passion for if your lifestyle isn't matching up with it.
It's true.
So I would like to transition to being more of an online coach and doing some more of motivational public speaking.
Yes. Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because this is something that I see a lot, and I want to talk about it, and I'm sure you've come by it. Do you find it kind of like taboo, or you find it like, I don't really want to talk about that much when it comes to wanting to make more money or wanting to live a certain lifestyle? Do you feel, even if it's not inside of you, do you feel like the exterior, like the social, like society puts this, don't talk about money, don't, you shouldn't want that type of lifestyle? Do you feel like
I do. I actually felt it just now when I said I feel like there has to be a balance, because I feel like there's hierarchy with, the passion, drive for the passion. But, if the passion that you're feeling or the direction you're going in isn't giving you the results that you want, how could you continue to have that passion?
Absolutely.
So, I definitely feel like that.
Okay. Well, I'm here to smash that bug of society, okay? And I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody watching society, you got to stop that stuff. And the reason why I say this is because I have seen trainers literally try to keep up this facade of, well, I'm just in it to help people, live a better life. Meanwhile, they can't afford their rent. They can't eat organic foods, because you're supposed to be organic and you're supposed to be a trainer and, healthy, but you can't afford organic food.
Right.
I've seen so many people go through this and trying to keep up this, I'm not really about the money and this and that. No, you need to be about the money.
Oh, I am.
Right?
Yes.
As you should.
Yeah.
Because, I tell people this, because you automatically do a disservice to your clients, because when you show up, you're not 100% there. Because now you're thinking about, how am I gonna pay my rent?
Right.
Like, I get it, you need to lose weight, but my rent, like, I don't know, I'm asleep if if I can't get this rent money. Right. I don't know how I'm gonna eat. I don't know how I'm gonna feed my family. There's so many things that if you don't have the money part together, you can't be a full trainer.
Right. And also, I spend a lot of money for the, I don't, not everyone, but I actually have a master's degree in exercise science. So I have, undergrad in chemistry, and I like to use that more like the food science side.
Right.
And then I have the master's in exercise science as well. So it's kind of like.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I didn't pay,
right, all this money
degree,
just to, exactly.
To live a lifestyle that I didn't, it's
Absolutely.
not for me.
And that's exactly what I'm here to. Like I said, I wanted to squash that society bug,
Right.
because I see it so many times, and I just want to, not that you need it, but I just want to say it's okay.
Right.
Get your money, right?
Thank
Get
you.
your money, do your thing, because the more we get our trainers paid, the more we get our overall. It's not just about trainers, nutritionists, our coaches. The more we get them paid, the more they can impact. The more they, you can upgrade your systems, right?
Absolutely.
You can make stuff look better, because you have some clients who may just say, hey, maybe I want to just work with you one-on-one outside of the YMCA. Sorry, YMCA, but maybe we got to get your own spot, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's where, your clients want to be intimate and want to be just with you. You can get your own building. You can get your own gym.
Thought about that too.
Right? Yeah. With the hybrid training, is what it's called. Hybrid training is basically when you're in person and online. With the hybrid training model, you're going to need software, right? Well, we don't want to be the janky trainer, right? We want great software. We want software that looks good. We want your landing pages to look good. We want your customers and your clients to come in and say, man, this looks good. Like, wow, I like this. You can't get that without money, right? These microphones, if I wasn't focused on money, the microphones and my filming guy and like all the quality of this stuff, I couldn't do this stuff, right? But people want to see this stuff. You want to be able to hear me with a nice microphone. You want to be able to see a great visual of what we're doing. This stuff costs money. So it's not to say, crave money to go get a Lamborghini or something. But, if you're doing that, that's okay. But it's just to say, hey, I want to put money back into my clients and show them that you deserve the best while you're going through this journey. Right. So yeah, that you got it. All right. Do your thing. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, so throughout this journey, what are you finding to be kind of what's your hiccup? What's the hardest part for you so far?
I'd have to say is, you don't really know how long it's going to take for you to make it, And everyone has, this, I guess idea, you hope it's sooner than later, but, a lot of times it's later, and you don't know how much later that's going to be. And so I've gone back and forth with the idea of even saying, okay, well, I enjoy doing this. I do enjoy helping people. I do feel as though I have a passion for this. Is this a dream that I should still hold on to, or is this something that was maybe something I used to really, really like, and maybe I should focus my energy on something else? And just more so, how strong is this? Is this the dream? Is this the path? Is this the one?
That's a great question. So before I answer that, how long have you been doing it though, full time?
Well, I've been full time probably about 2 years. Okay. Prior to that, it was just here and there, and when someone would ask me. And
right. Okay. And how long was that period?
Well, I started off teaching group fitness. Okay. So that was probably back in 2013. Oh, okay. So yeah, I've been posting a lot, but I didn't realize also that back then, I guess I could have been, with a lot of the trainers and the fitness personalities, and I didn't know that could. Right. I guess I didn't know it was possible. Right. Back then, or else maybe I would have put a little more energy and effort into it. Okay. But yeah. Okay.
So I asked that question because your mindset is everybody goes through it. How long does this actually take? Right. And one of the biggest things that I've learned being on both sides is that, one, it takes longer. It's always going to take longer than you want it to, of course. Because ideally, we'd like it to happen tomorrow, right? So always going to take longer than you want it to. But there is a what we call a curve. There's a success curve. And you can jump the success curve based on some of the things you can do, right? You're personally jumping the success curve by being here right now. Because you are talking to somebody who's already done it. And I'm giving you some of the moves to get there, right? this is how you jump that success curve. Because honestly, I did part of my journey by myself, and then I kind of got where you were like, I'm finna give this up. Like, you know, not saying you're about to give it up, but I started getting there like, I need to do something else that's gonna bring some more money. Because to be honest, you know, I wanted to make more money.
Yeah.
So before I took my exit, I started to just explore the options. Like, is there any trainers making, you know, because I'm not gonna lie. Once again, society, I'm squashing the book. I wanted to make $1 million, okay? And I'm asking myself, are there any $1 million trainers? Easy, right? And once I put in that search, I realized there were. There were $1 million trainers everywhere, but they were doing something different than I was. So you had 2, maybe 3 ways of exiting or entering to become $1 million trainer. You charge more per hour, which is unlikely for us in Nashville. Nashville trainers don't make much. I think the most that I was making when I was in person was $70 an hour, $80 an hour. If you go to New York, you can maybe get 100, 150 an hour. LA is maybe 200.
Absolutely.
You know, but that's about, it's a cap on that still, and you still can't make $1 million with those prices because there's only so much time in the day.
True.
Right. So you can go up in pricing, you can train more people, right? But once again, there's only so much time in the day, or you can go to a different model. And that's, of course, where I am and where I want to get you eventually, because now it becomes a one-to-many model instead of a one-on-one or one-on-10. Because even if you do a one-on-10, there's still only so many people you can fit in a group class, right? Yeah. But with a one-to-many model, you know, on average, I train 2,000 people a year, right? I don't care what price tag you put on that. I'm going to make a lot of money training 2,000 people a year. That's just how it works. So that's kind of how I started to get into it. But how did I get there, right? Once I was looking up that Google search of, are there any millionaire trainers, right? I came to find that every millionaire trainer had someone to teach them how to get there, right? And that's the curve that I'm talking about, the success curve. Because you can either go 10 years and figure it out on your own, or you can go 3 and then go, somebody teach me, and then I'll get there quicker. And that's what I did. So I went out and I found a guy as I was Googling. I found a guy, and it took me like 6 months to join him. First of all, he was expensive, I'll be honest. And I wasn't in the right mindset, because I'm looking at the curve and I'm going, okay, I can get him to teach me. But one, he's asking for like $6,000. That's a lot of money, right? For 2, is this going to work? Am I going to give you $6K and then just be out of $6K? Right? And then number 3, I didn't know how I kind of feel like I had it figured out already. And it's like, no, it ain't nothing you could teach me that I don't already know, to be honest, right? So I'm thinking, okay, you can't teach me anything. It's $6K. Am I going to waste it? And are you just going to tell me the same stuff, right? You know? But over maybe the span of about 6 months, I just kept studying this stuff, and I said, you know what? What do I have to lose outside of $6K? I didn't have it. Nobody ever has it, to be honest. I took a loan out. I said, I'm going to join him. I joined him. His name was AJ. AJ, and literally in like 3 months, I went from making $5,000 a month. I was doing pretty good in person. I went to making $5,000 a month to I made my first 5-figure month. So it was like $16,000 that next month. Or it took more than a month. So it was like 2 months from after working with him, I made $16K. And I was like, oh. Like, you know, so now in my mind, I'm thinking, I've already made my money back. I don't care what he does now. I got my money back, and I have the tools, which were different than what I thought. Because I thought I knew it all. I was a trainer. Like, you're very smart. You got a master's degree. It ain't much you don't know, right? But because I was in the same spot. But what I came to realize is that, okay, this is a niche that I'm smart in. This is a niche that I have the master's degree in. I don't have a master's degree, by the way, but this is a niche that I have the information in. There's a whole nother niche that I know nothing about, which is business, right? And that's when I came to the conclusion, like, okay, I got to learn about business. And that's what, that overall was what did it, and mindset. Because I was in the mindset that I can just work, grind hard, and the success is coming. And it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Not to say that, hard work doesn't work, but you got to put some smart work in there too. And you know that.
I had to learn that lesson the hard way, because like you said, like I felt like, I know this. And I also, I don't need anyone else. I could do it on my own.
Yeah, seriously.
But it is, it's like working smarter, not harder.
Right. And one of the hardest things for me, and this is why I always, people throw out these woo-woo, mindset this, mindset that. But overall, mindset was something that I needed help with because I was not in the mindset of, and I'm sure you can agree with me on this. We were taught we can do everything on our own.
Absolutely.
Right? Especially, Black and brown people, we feel like we are so great. We can do everything because our mom and our dad taught us that, right? They told us, look, if you got brakes going bad, you can fix them brakes yourself, right? You need an oil change, you can change the, right?
Right.
That's how it is. And what I've come to find is that in business, that was handicapping me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was handy because I was trying to do my own taxes.
I didn't know how to ask for help.
Right. We don't know how to ask for help. That's exactly right. And for me, I don't want to answer this for you, but for me, even with asking for help, it was kind of like a pride breaker. I had so much pride, I didn't even want to ask for help.
Exactly.
Let alone pay for it.
You feel kind of depressed about it. Like I wasn't able to meet the standard or something.
Yep, absolutely. And that was the mindset shift that I noticed I had to take. And that I was taking without even knowing it. Because once I started to take a mindset, the first mindset shift I had was, okay, pay everyone that is an A player to do the things that you are not an A player at. So I'm an A player at nutrition, health, coaching, etc. I got that. But taxes, not an A player, right? Business, definitely wasn't an A player. Social media, all this other stuff, I was not an A player. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to do all these other things, but I'm like a C or D player at it. And that's when I started to realize that was my mindset shift that instantly took me to the next level. Because it sucked because I had to give somebody else some money. Like, oh, you gonna do my taxes? Oh, here's $500, right? I didn't want to do that.
Right.
But it ultimately freed me up to continue to focus on what it is I do best. And now I'm a maniac with it. People hate when I say certain things because literally I don't even clean my own house. And that sounds bad. Well, trust me, Black and brown people, we take pride in we clean our own house and we're very clean and this is how we do it. But I had to step away from that because now, and you're going to get this way, you're probably already there because you keep yourself up and I can tell you value yourself. So your hour's worth a lot more money than people are actually willing to pay, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So what I told myself is, okay, my hour is worth like $1,000 an hour. And what I did was I said, hey, if I can afford to pay for someone who's going to be cheaper than an hour to do the work that I don't want to do, then I'm just going to pay them. So I have a cleaning lady that costs $100, right? Who will come in and clean my whole house. Here's $100. Clean the house. Let me get back to work, right?
Yeah.
So I use that time to at least, even if I can't make the $1,000, at least go make $300. So yeah, I lost $100. But I made a net of $200. That was that mindset shift that most of us don't have. Most of us don't have that because we're trying to hold on. And we call it, you're tripping over dollars to save pennies. That's what we call it. So you're stepping over all the big money you can make trying to hold on to your pennies. And once I stopped tripping over those dollars to save pennies, that's when my business just skyrocketed. So if I can leave you with anything is to start making that mindset shift, like as soon as possible. And I know it's hard because, when you're getting started, you usually don't have a lot of money to give to other people, right? And this is where you got to start cutting stuff. Like instead of driving Mercedes, people, right? Maybe you drive a little, Camry, a little Nissan or something. Or maybe instead of, living by yourself, and I know this sucks, maybe you got to get a roommate, right? That's just kind of how I looked at it. But it works. It really does. For 10 years, through my 20s, I was paying less than $500 a month in rent because I had a roommate. And that was our goal. I told him, hey, we're going to do this until we become, where we want to be, where we're making the money so we can reinvest. And it worked out, So I'm not just telling you to do that. Right. You may not need to do that, but I'm not just saying that. And it's like, well, did you do that?
And
yeah,
like
I did it. Yeah, I did it for 10 years. And it wasn't hard. Yeah, it's hard as far as living with someone else. But if you come to, you get your ground rules set, and then you just do what you got to do. Focus on your business. So And I may not be speaking to you on that, but that's how how I operate. So okay. So when it comes to online, what do you feel like? Because you got the content. I don't even want to go there. What do you feel like is holding you back online?
I honestly, when you were saying being an A player, and I'm not an A player when it comes to social media and a lot of things, just doing things online.
Okay.
I'd much rather prefer to call somebody than to schedule something online.
Makes sense.
So I need to know the structure and how I can, honestly, how it would actually even begin.
Right.
Or what's the way to maximize the structure of the program. Like, I'm not sure if I've seen different avenues people take. People have a completely separate app.
Right.
I know people who use Google Docs. So I know that there are different ways,
Right.
but I guess I want to know the best way, which I guess is relative. But
Yeah, it is.
I'm much more successful when I've been shown this is what was, and I guess that can have some flaws with it depending on who's showing you what, but but that's what I want. I need to see. I want to see what it looks like, so then I can say, oh, I know how to do that, or at least I have an idea, and then I can say I can put my spin here, or I can modify here. But I honestly just need to see a foundational point of what it looks like.
Okay, that makes sense. And you're right. I mean, now especially nowadays, there's so many people you can reach out to not only just show you the way, but who will actually do it for you. Like, there are people who build, I don't know if you know what a funnel is, but they'll build funnels for you. People who build landing pages, all this other stuff, they do it all. They're expensive.
I have no idea. See,
Okay.
Like, that's no knowledge of my tech. Like,
Right,
I don't know
and
what
that's
funnel is.
fine.
I don't know.
But see, that's what this is for. And I'm glad you said that. And I know for me it would be hard. It's hard to admit and say, I don't know what that is, right?
Should I know?
Right. And to be honest, coming online, you're not gonna know most of this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the lingo that I talk, CPC and CRM and ROI, people are like, what's all that mean? It's a new space. And this is where, of course, having someone to say, hey, this is what that means and this is how to execute it. It's very helpful and I can only say that because I've had that and that's how I got where I am. But a funnel, just to explain to anybody who doesn't know what it is, so that's what this is for. It's educational. A funnel literally is, we'll use a triangle, for example. And a funnel is something like a triangle where basically the top of your triangle or the top of your funnel is where people first meet you, right? All right, see this girl, she has a nice body. She's a trainer, great, okay? Sheena, that's her name, okay, cool. What else does she have? She has this free, 12-week program, or this free, and I wouldn't give a 12-week program for free, but just saying, right? She has this free, whatever, diet guide, and then they give you an email address for it, right? That was the top of your funnel that they just entered into, because now you have an email, and now you can send them emails every day or once a week or however you want to do it, and as you send it, you send them helpful stuff like, hey, this is how I'll wake up and make sure I fit a 1-hour workout session into a busy day. That's one email, right? And it's helpful, right? And you just send emails out like that, okay? That's your funnel. Then maybe, in the middle of, the 5th email, you say, hey, if you want a little more help with this, here's a $10 program, 30-day challenge, right? $10. I can lose $10. They give you $10. That's pretty much the end, the middle of your funnel. And then you just continue to send them emails, things like that. And it's not just email. You continue to see them on Instagram. And if we get a little more deeper with it, you can start retargeting with Instagram ads and Facebook ads. It's a little advanced, but you can do retargeting, things like that. But overall, you start going into this funnel. And that's when you slowly start opening up a wider chance for them to buy your flagship program, okay? That's when we're talking about the 12-week program, where you give them, let's just say if it's online, when I teach my mentees, I teach them that you want to give them accountability. And the best way I give my people, my clients and my mentees accountability is I give them walkie-talkie access to me. So they can literally just hit me and I hit them back. That in itself is worth a lot of money, right? So now you just automatically made your services worth more. So instead of, for a 12-week program, what would you charge? Just off the top of your head.
I don't really know.
12 weeks. Okay. And I just asked just because most people, they don't. That's why I asked. Most people don't know where to start. And usually, honestly, for a 12-week program, I wouldn't charge anything less than $800. Anything less than. And this is online, okay? I charge more if they're going to require your time,
Right.
like your in-person time. But yeah, I would charge $800 or more. I have people who charge $5,000 for a 12-week program. I have people who charge $1,000, $3,000, anywhere between. And you, of course, you have apps that you can use. A really good app is Trainerize. Okay, have you heard of that?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so Trainerize is literally like a platform, and y'all getting some free pub because I don't have anything to do with Trainerize, right? But literally, as a trainer, you can go in and you can literally start putting in your workouts. You can make workouts there, and it has videos, and it's an app that you can have your clients download. And you can put your own videos in there, or they're already stockpiled videos in there, right? So you can literally go in and start putting a program together, and if they don't know how to do a squat properly, they click the video and it pops up. Here's how you do a squat. And it can be you, or like I said, they already have someone teaching it inside of there. So that's one great tool to use for trainers who want to go online. Trainerize is great, right? And then there are other, softwares, but that's one of the best ones that you can use to just get the program out. So once again, that's when you would go through that funnel. So you started with something free. You went to $10, and you can play with it. It can be $1. I've done $1. I've done $10. I've done $30. Somewhere in there. Then I take them to the next one. I take them to about $50 to $100. And then I take them to the big boy program and say, okay, 800, 1,000. Now, why is that funnel important? Because it's highly unlikely that they're going to say, oh, here's Sheena. And then Sheena goes, hey, buy my $1,000 program.
Exactly.
Right? It's not going to happen.
Like, we don't even know you.
We don't know you, right? And I like to, and it's somewhat inappropriate, but it's very, it makes sense when I put it this way. It's very similar to meeting someone in person, especially a woman. I say a woman because you might be able to get some fellas the first day and take them home just because, you got it going on. But some people would look at it like a relationship. You just can't go up to a woman and say, hey, I like you. My name's Tay. Want to be my wife? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, it's like, no, we're not going to. I'm not gonna go home with you.
Right. Right.
So it's the same way with giving money, especially the more money it is. I'm not gonna give you my money. I don't know you, right?
I'm actually happy you say this because I've brought this idea to people, and they're like, and I would say that I can't just say these. I want you to pay for this, and they don't even know who I am. Right. They don't even see content, and people would try to convince me and say, yes, they would. Right. And I'm like, how? Like, why would they do that? But they're like, then they kind of flip it on me, like, believe in yourself. You can do, but logically though, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So that
now let me ask you this: Are these other trainers?
No.
Okay.
They're never other trainers. I don't have any friends who work out.
Okay.
Not like, I guess, like my own personal friends.
Right.
I do have people I know in the gym and stuff like that, but we don't usually hang out.
Makes sense.
So.
Makes sense. And that's why I asked you that, because a lot of people don't know if they don't go through it themselves. They don't really know, right? The only time somebody's going to pay a significant amount of money for something is if it's a life or death type thing, or if it's something they really want.
Right.
So it's not hard for me to sell you an expensive pair of shoes because you want those shoes, right? You don't need to see them a bunch of times. You know you want those shoes. And it's not hard for me to sell you an open heart surgery for $100,000 because you need an open heart surgery, right? Yeah, you need that heart. So those are the few things that usually doesn't take like what they call a sales cycle. They don't require that. However, anything else is usually going to take a sales cycle. Even Walmart, Kmart, Kmart doesn't even exist anymore. But, all these other stores, Target, things like that, they have a sales cycle. And what a sales cycle basically is, it says, hey, I'm either going to show you who I am first and what I have to offer. If you don't buy then, which is fine, I'll continue to show you who I am until you buy, right? And you've seen it, of course. But this is why we have to do that, because the science is called buyer psychology. The science behind the buyer psychology basically says that every person needs to see you or something you have to offer at least. It used to be 7 times, but now it's going up to 12 upwards of to 20 times. Somebody needs to see you 20 times before they're even thinking about buying, right? That's
Period?
crazy, yeah. Period. So this can be, they call them touch points. This can just be touch points. They can see an email from you.
Okay.
Then they can see you on Instagram. Then they can see you on YouTube. Then they can see, so it's just touch points.
I see.
Right? So they just need to see you touch point wise. And then like, man, I've been seeing Sheena everywhere. Let me go ahead and buy into her product or buy into her services. She looks great. She seems like she's very helpful and can give you some good accountability. Let me go ahead and do that. So this is what most trainers don't understand. And this is why you would rarely see, for example, you go on my Instagram, because I'm sure you look through it, right? Mm-hmm. Did you see anywhere on my Instagram that I was selling something?
No, I don't.
And I don't.
Selling?
I usually don't sell anything on
Okay.
Instagram. Because the reason why I say that is because most people, first of all, don't like being sold to. You kind of have to sneak it to them. Like, you need this, buy it, right? Like, seriously, like, get it. And that's how it is. That people need to be, like, kind of sneaky with it. And it sounds bad, but it's not really a bad thing. It's just knowing. And it's because, first of all, in this country, we have something against car salesmen, right?
Yeah.
You're a pushy car salesman. Don't try to sell me.
Yeah.
So when anybody tries to sell anything, we kind of, we don't like it. So this is why I usually say never really sell at the top of your funnel. And your Instagram or your Facebook is the top of your funnel, right? So you pull them in there, like, man, Sheena's great, right? She has all this free stuff she's been offering, squat challenges, et cetera, et cetera. And then maybe you say, hey, just join my email list. Or, hey, come do a webinar, which I can show you all that stuff later. But, join my webinar. It's free, right? Let me give you some more, let me help you more. Free, still free. And then once they see, like, okay, your free stuff has been great, what does your paid stuff look like?
Right.
Then that's when that goes. Because now they've seen you 7, 8, 12, 20 times. Now they're ready to buy. And the buyer psychology says that once a buyer, always a buyer. Okay? So if you give me $1, I'll be able to get $1,000 out of you eventually. Right? Once again, that's not a bad thing. People need to pay for your services, right? So that you can, serve them at the best of your ability. So that's how it works. So anything I just said, you got any questions about it? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense?
I mean, I think it makes absolute sense.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting to hear it, and then I think about applying that to myself. Like, when the last time I bought something, did I see them? Because I usually am never like an impulse buyer,
Right.
ever. So when you're saying all these touch points, I'm like, that sounds about right. Because it takes me a while to be like, okay.
Right. And that's I'm glad, first of all, you got it. And it's hard to deal with it because now you have to become Target and Walmart and, Amazon. Yeah, and I'm sure you all have seen this before, you search for an iPhone case on Amazon. And then everywhere you go on the internet, an iPhone case is on the side of the screen, right?
Yeah.
Now this is what they're doing, right? They're retargeting you. They're following you throughout the internet. This is why now when you go on most sites, they say this site has cookies on the site that will follow you basically. Are you okay with that? You have to agree to those terms, right? That's what's going on because, of course, they've been kind of cracking down on that. But that's what's basically happening. When you go on a site, it's called a pixel. There's a Facebook pixel or pixel there that literally, once you leave that site, I can basically track wherever you go. Or I can at least sell to you wherever you're going. So I guess that's how it works. And it's a lot of stuff that goes into it, though, right? But this is how it works. So the next time you're looking at, be careful what you're searching, first of all, because it will follow you. Seriously, like if you're searching some, crazy or not crazy, but just you could be searching, some lingerie, and now you're pulling your phone up to somebody and lingerie's popping up on the side. It's like, don't worry about that, right? Like it will follow you seriously, and that's what's happening now. And the people who are in the know and know what they're doing. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's a part of our business. So I'll teach you all of that. I got you. All right. But so if you had to say, if you have to give yourself a 5-year, plan or 5-year trajectory, What do you see Sheena doing in 5 years? How much does she make, and what kind of lifestyle does she live?
5 years. It's always been hard for me to kind of put that, I guess, on paper.
Yeah.
I mean,
makes sense.
ideally, I know I have goals of being a millionaire as well. I don't know how long it will take me to do,
Okay.
and I don't know if 5 years is, you know, if I know it's kind of like you set the goal and then you achieve it, or
Right.
if you're like, you know, I don't know the steps. So I would like to be a millionaire in 5 years.
Okay.
I definitely see myself doing online training.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
Okay.
that's all I can really think of for sure right now, I guess.
Okay. So do you want to, you want to be, stay local? You want to travel?
Oh, travel for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all I wanted to know because, well, not all, but I'm just saying this overall. That's what I like to look at because before someone comes to me and say, "Hey, Tay, I need your help," or "This is what I want to do," I like to make sure that you even align with what I have. You know what I want for you, right? Because that's why I usually take everybody. I want you to have the money. I want you to have the lifestyle to say, I travel. I was in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I was just chilling, and I was still making money the whole time, right? That's what I want you to be able to do. These are the things, and if you don't want that, then I don't want to push it on you. That's why I ask those things, right? Is it realistic for you to be a millionaire in 5 years? Absolutely.
I know.
Absolutely. And the reason why is because of what I call, or what's known to be compounding, what they call compound interest compounding. And basically that just says that, if it takes you, they say it takes money to make money. It's kind of true, right? Especially in the online space. So if you put $1,000 in and then you make 5,000, then you put $2,000 in, you make 10. You put 5 in, you make 50. And then it just starts rolling. And before you know it, you can put 100 grand in and you're like, oh, that's 100 grand. But 100 grand will bring $1 million usually, if you do it right. Right. So this is, it's absolutely, you could do that in 5 years. I've seen people do it in 3. I have one lady right now, she goes by the 6-figure chick. I really love her and I work with her.
Follow her.
Okay. I love her stuff, right?
Yeah.
I love her stuff. And she makes 100 grand a month. Right. Shout out to the 6-figure chick. All right. CC, what's good? But those are the people that I like to show and say, look, she's doing it. Right. It's possible. And she did it in like 3 years. Right. So it's definitely something you can do. Definitely something you do. Now, is it harder this is just me being totally transparent. Is it harder in the space of health? Absolutely. Why? Because you got to be a hell of a person to teach or to convince people that they need health, right?
I do know that for sure.
Yeah, It's tough. So that's where you start working on mindset. That's where you start working on your content. Because let me tell you this, you do a great job, with your workouts and things like that, but you are going to have to start getting on there and talking a little bit more.
I knew. I felt that too. Like, I was like, I don't talk as much as I see other people talking.
And here's why. This is the only reason why I say that. Because when it comes to someone buying your coaching or buying into your programs, they're not buying the workout. They're not paying for squats, deadlifts, and, sit-ups. They're not even paying sometimes for weight loss. They're paying for you. They're like, man, I love you, girl. Like, you got all this good stuff. Like, everything you do is just amazing. Like, I just want to work with you. Some people will just give you money just to be able to talk to you. Seriously. So that's what they're paying for. And the only way that they can get that, in most cases, is to slowly start giving them the video. And then you go live. And then you start, and they're like, man, I love talking to her. What I got to do to make, to get in there and do more and talk to her more and have her train me and, et cetera, et cetera. That's how it works. People pay for coaches, not coaching, for the most part, right? And then, of course, secondary, if you ask me, the secondary part that they're paying for is the result. So it doesn't matter how you get the result. And this is what you're going to have to tell some people because they're going to want to work with you in person. But then that's when you got to be fly. You got to be fly with it. You got to say, look, you're not really coming to me for in-person training. You're looking for a result. And my program, online or not, gets this result. So do you want this result? That's what you're paying for, right? You get that down pat, you take off. You take off. Seriously. So with wrapping up, before I tell everyone where, they can find you, do you have any more questions for me?
I don't think I have any. I think that you were very clear and gave great examples.
You're not just saying that, are you?
No.
Okay.
No,
Good.
I can't think of anything else that I feel like needs to be touched on.
Okay.
I think one of the, this kind of, I guess will lead into how to reach me. Is one of the things that I struggle with too is I feel like I feel like I do have a lot of, I guess, foundational things. Like I have a website technically.
Right. Okay.
I don't, this is where it comes to, again, finding the people to help with that because that's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a website.
Okay.
I don't use it, I don't promote it because it's not built up the way I want it to be built.
Right.
So I just feel like, having a lot of the foundational things and bringing it all full circle. So, like having cameras and, lighting, like I understand all of it and I watch tons of videos on it.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's just kind of like, that's just something that I feel like I struggle with, but
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's something that, we need to touch on right now.
Yeah,
But,
it's, for one, I'm definitely going to suggest you got to start self-promoting, promoting a lot more.
Right.
Just so people know, like, screaming from the top of the mountain, like, hey, everybody, I'm training, like, come work with me. But at the same time, it is going to come to a point where you're going to need to, get that website together, things like that. Because people, I call it stalking. They're going to stalk you, and it's going to be Instagram, it's going to be Facebook, it's going to be your website. Those are like the top three. If you have a YouTube channel, it's going to be YouTube. I have 350 videos, and I've had people literally watch all my videos before they buy. So it's just how it works. So that, yes, will come. But I heard you say one thing before we leave. I always try to tell all my trainers and really anybody getting online, I try to tell you this. Don't worry so much about your quality right now. Because clearly you just don't have the bandwidth and the money right now. Or maybe you do, but you don't want to always go out and try to be perfect. And this is what I told a lot of people, in the past. Start where you are. If you got some trainers out there got an iPhone 3, right? Like they got a horrible camera. That's fine. Start there. Just start filming, right? And then as you start to grow and you start making more money, this is why I always say never spend 100% of your money that you make. Because now you can go buy an iPhone 10 instead of an iPhone 3, and now your camera looks better. Then once you make more money, you can go get lighting. Now your videos really look good. Then when you make more money, you can actually get a filming crew, and do it. So it's a progression thing, right? And it's great because your people who are following you are going to want to see you progress. They want to see like, oh man, I've been with you since your videos were grainy and you didn't know how to talk, right?
Yeah.
That's how they like that because it's like I've been rocking with you since you were, it's like anything else, like in for artists, rappers, R&B, singers, whatever. Some diehard fans have been rocking with them since they were, selling CDs out the trunk. Gucci Mane is one of my favorite, rappers. I love Gucci, not as just a rapper, but just overall him, And same thing. I've been with him since he was selling out of a car. Now he's Gucci, like he's the guy. This is kind of what I want out of the trainers. It's the same thing. We need to see you from the ground up. So show them, right? Because it makes them it makes you better and makes your community better. So yeah, ground up, you got it.
Well, thank you.
So before we leave, tell them where they can find you, Instagram, wherever you want to send them. Tell them where they can find you.
Well, my Instagram is it's Sheena Wright, so ITS,
Okay.
SHEENA Wright, WRIGHT. And my Body Right Fitness is just at Body Right Fitness, the last name WRIGHT.
Okay, and we'll put all that stuff in just so they can know where to go and find you. And trust me, y'all want to go follow her. Seriously, seriously, really good page. Great body, and I say that as a trainer. Like I have it's like an art, and I love to see artwork. And as a trainer, seriously, and that's just how I am as a trainer. You get used to like looking at people's body and say, okay, we need to do a little something here, and so when I see a well put together frame, I'm like, that's hard work. Like that took a lot, of hard work. So definitely go check her out. And then of course, like always, if you got any questions, hit me up. IG, okay, Tay Sweat. I answer all my DMs. I don't care how. I will be at 1 million followers. I don't know when you're seeing this, but I will get to 1 million followers on IG. I will still answer my DMs. She'll tell you, all right? I'm at 240,000 followers and I still answer my DMs, right? And I will keep answering my DMs because I'm here to help. So if you got any questions about that, hit me up there. And then, of course, below, I'll be putting a free guide that you can go in, and I'll be sending emails to you so that you can get more help, and I'll walk the journey with you, all right? So come on back next time, and outside of that, keep working hard. Go follow Sheena.